To the surprise of literally no one, Elon Musk has once again overpromised and underperformed. Yesterday, in a meeting he had with his investors, he mentioned that they need to temper their expectations for third quarter earnings. And he said that the primary reason for that is that they've dug their own grave with the Cybertruck. Now, the Cybertruck has been pretty interesting to me. Now, the Cybertruck was announced 4 years ago in 2019, and it was lauded as this great opportunity for people to have an electric pickup truck. And turns out it's a lot harder to build than he thought. And it was marketed to cost $40,000. That's what he told people, that it'd be $40,000 to purchase this truck. But now he's saying that it's probably going to cost about $100,000 for this truck. And the first one isn't going to roll out until November 30th of this year. And this is just something that it's really surprising to me how often this happens with Elon Musk. I can't believe he keeps getting away with this. He's the best example I can think of a real life the emperor has no clothes. He keeps doing this. He keeps saying that things are going to be great. Things are going to be awesome. I have written down a few things that he said, and he promised that we'd have fully automated driving in 2019. Like vehicles would be able to operate themselves with no drivers in 2019. He said that people would be on Mars by 2024. And my favorite is the Hyperloop. Now, I don't know if you guys remember what he actually promised with the Hyperloop, which was like an underground, like a bullet train that could get you from San Francisco to Los Angeles in 10 minutes or something. And when the Hyperloop was when the Hyperloop was finally released, it was a tunnel that allowed people to drive a taxi through the tunnel. And I can't believe he keeps getting away with this. And I'm just wondering, how much longer can he do this? How much longer can he keep promising these grandiose visions and have people keep buying it up? What do you guys think? John, I'll throw it to you.
I mean, I definitely, it's incredible to watch the fall of Elon Musk because, again, I was a teenager or whatever, but like back then I thought he was pretty cool. He was popping up on the Daily Show, on the Colbert Report, talking about all this stuff. And it was like, oh, he's making electric cars. Like that's good for the environment. And then like the more you learn about the dude, the more you realize this guy has just like con artist his way upwards his entire life. And kind of respect to him for that. But like, it's incredible just how off he is all of the time and everything that he says. And he has done a better job, I think, of breaking the myth that billionaires got to where they were through hard work and genius than anyone else I've ever seen in my entire life. I mean, just look at Twitter. Like he took one of and again, these are like,
I think you mean X.
He does the most the dumbest possible things that a third grader should be able to understand are dumb, like the Cybertruck. I distinctly remember learning in like, I swear to God, third grade, we're talking about like basic physics. And my teacher was like, yeah, no, we used to think that making cars really sturdy and strong was the best way to keep us safe. And so back then, cars got totaled less often, but more people died because they'd crash and all of the force there'd be nowhere for it to go. And it went to the person and they would die. And then we started making cars of aluminum and having them crumple and all of these good things. And then Elon Musk's like, yeah, we're going to make the body of solid stainless steel. And that was just like, it's so dumb. Like anyone who understands how physics works should know it's dumb. Anyone who understands how branding works, anyone who understands how social media works should know that charging people to use Twitter will kill the app. But he seems to want to do it. It's the dumbest possible solutions to problems that didn't even exist in the first place is what Elon Musk is best at making. And I do think that the time is running out. Like, I think that I think that the Twitter tanking, whenever it happens and him being forced to sell it back, whatever's going to happen with that, and him losing $44 billion is going to just shatter the Ponzi scheme, because everyone's going to start pulling out of everything when they realize how colossally he fucked that up.
Yeah. And I think we're starting to see that now, honestly, because even like people that were Elon Sims a few months ago, they're starting to be like lukewarm on Elon. Like, I don't know what I don't know what he's doing.
Cat turd, yeah.
When it comes to Elon, man, I don't even know where to start. Like, there's so many layers to the lasagna that it's just like, what are you doing, man? Like, people like used to call him like the real life Iron Man. This man's not an engineer. He's not even very bright. And we can see that by his business decisions. Even when he was like unveiling the Cybertruck a few years ago, he was saying the most ridiculous shit that his engineers were like, what are you doing? Like saying like, oh, the windows are shatterproof. And then he shattered the window on stage.
Great.
Said stuff like the Cybertruck can float in water. What do you mean the Cybertruck can float in water? Where are you getting this
made
from?
Of metal.
What are you saying
it's
right
made
now?
Of metal. Yes, like it's like a tank. What is wrong with? Yeah, the Cybertruck is my because like look, there's a lot of legitimate reasons to shit on Elon Musk. I mean, like he's ahead of Twitter, Tesla, and SpaceX. Now, Twitter and Tesla are tanking. Like they are just going down every single day. Now, SpaceX isn't publicly traded, so we can't exactly see how much money they're making, but it's mostly funded by the U.S. government. He's a welfare queen. He gets tons of money, and half the rockets explode every time they launch. So how can you say this guy knows what he's doing? And the Cybertruck, though, is still my favorite example because, like, John, you mentioned how we all learned in physics, that, oh, yeah, we make cars out of lighter materials now because it absorbs the force and doesn't kill the driver. You know what else we learned like 50, 60 years ago? Aerodynamics. That is the least aerodynamic vehicle I have ever seen. And it looks like it belongs in like a PlayStation 2 game when you look at this truck. It is, I remember being unveiled and I said, that is the most hideous car I have ever seen in my life. Why would anyone want to own that? Who would want to be caught? Imagine like you ask a girl out and you come pick her up in a Cybertruck. Are you kidding me? Like it's disgusting. I don't really get it.
Look at that guy rolling in with a Lamborghini from San Andreas. Like what is going on right now?
Exactly.
When it was revealed, I thought it was just like a prototype model. Like they always make like a flashy prototype and then it becomes a more practical car. But Elon was like, nope, we're not. Nope. It looks exactly the same as it did in 2019.
This hideous monstrosity. I'm sticking with that. 4 years down the line, hasn't changed a bit. And other thing about Elon Musk is that, everyone talks about how he's the genius and everything. And I love that he's made himself a public facing figure because, like you said, John, it just proves that he's not. And listening to Elon Musk talk, I mean, that is like, you ever read a Donald Trump speech and it's like, wow, what this is a monstrosity. Mm-hmm. But the equivalent of that is listening to Elon Musk talk. Now, listen, not like having poor speaking skills does not mean you're unintelligent. There are plenty of people that, just don't have the gift of public speech, and that doesn't mean they're not bright. But if you are unintelligent and you're a bad public speaker, that's like the worst case scenario, and that's Elon Musk. I mean, hearing the guy talk, it's just like he's stumbling over his words. Nothing he says makes any sense. He's always shitting on his workers. He's breaking up unions. It's just, I've never seen someone do a fall from grace quicker. Like, say what you want about the evil of Jeff Bezos or Mark Zuckerberg or Bill Gates, but they at least present themselves as competent businessmen. And like they seem to know what they're doing. And no one can say that about Elon Musk.
Well, but that's the thing. People do say that about Elon Musk.
Fewer and fewer people are saying it about Elon Musk. Yeah.
It's incredible to me, the political split of Elon Musk, because Elon is the like most obvious poster boy. Like if Karl Marx had to dream up a poster child for the inherent hypocrisy of capitalism, it's Elon Musk to a T, because he's always saying, oh, the elites are saying this about me, but like we know what the real thing is. And it's like, bro, you're one of the richest people on the planet, and you're calling the journalist who's eating ramen tonight one of the elites. Like it's just so mind-numbingly stupid. As soon like we forget about thinking about it for 5 minutes. As soon as you hear the words "the elites are after me" coming from one of the world's richest people, like what are we talking about? Who can possibly buy that shit?
It's like a Fox News pundit accusing the mainstream media of being biased.
Yeah. For conservatives, when they say elites, they don't really mean financial elites. They don't. They because for a right winger's mindset, a billionaire is a billionaire because they deserve it. Like they are our betters. They earned all of that money. So that doesn't automatically make you an elite. Like when they talk about elite, they talk about cultural elites. So, you know, the barista with blue hair.
Like someone who owns a social media platform that makes up most of our culture.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know,
he's not an elite. What do you mean?
Yeah, exactly. College students, you know, who are broke as hell, they are elites. But the rich man in the world is not an elite. He's one of us, and that it's a weird psychosis they have with that. But they don't really care about financial elites, because unless it's like someone like Bill Gates or George Soros. Like if you have a lot of money and you're a leftist, okay, now you're an elite. Like that's what makes you an elite, like being left of center, not how much money or power you have.
Yep. And let's not color between the lines now. A lot of those people, it's just synonymous for Jewish too, especially when it comes to George Soros conspiracies.
Yeah,
and even pivoting back to the Cybertruck specifically, like just looking at this article, man, it's so stupid. Like they don't even have the scale to put out what people have pre-ordered. Elon is saying that apparently over 1 million people have already reserved the Cybertruck, and it's not even going to be released until sometime this year. And they're saying that they only have capacity to release 250,000 a year. So it's going to take them 4 years to catch up just on people that are trying to reserve a spot for the truck, let alone it being like fully available for the market. It's just a boondoggle. We can see out from the gate that it's a giant boondoggle, and it could quite easily tank Tesla outside of all the other troubles they've been having with the massive amount of recalls that they had this year and last year. Like Tesla is dipping rapidly, and it's just hilarious. It really is.
Yeah. Tesla has been known over the last few years like to create death traps in their vehicles, and Twitter is being destroyed. All the rockets are exploding that Elon puts up. Like he doesn't really have any success, but the hype. This is like it's like P.T. Barnum or something. You just put out the hype, you get people to talk about you, and it works. It works for him every single time. And I just wonder how much longer he can keep this up, because like he does have his fanboys and his stands, and they're probably ride or die with him, but you know, it's dying down, and you love to see it. Especially, and also Elon Musk is like he's like Homelander in a lot of ways. Like he has all the power in the world, but what he wants more than anything is to be liked. He wants to be loved, and he wants to be accepted, which makes it so strange that he decided to, you know, cash his chips in with fascists. Like, why? I mean, like why would you do that? And his weird obsession. He has a weird obsession with population. And you know how he's always talking about,
which is inconsistent, by the way. He's always obsessed with it, but he's on different sides of the argument depending on what point in time that you're looking at.
Well, what he always says is that the number one threat to humanity is depopulation, and that, you know, I saw him on this podcast. He was talking to like 3 regular dudes on a podcast, and he asked them how old they were, and they're like, oh, I'm 29, oh, I'm 36 or whatever. He's like, how many kids do you guys have? And they're like, I got no kids. He goes, man, you know, you guys need to start having kids like that. We need more people. And it's like, Elon, why do you think these guys don't have kids? Like, why do you think you have 15 kids and they have 0? Maybe it's because you can afford it. Like, it doesn't even cross his mind. And also, with his population thing is very interesting because he always talks about how birth rates are declining, but birth rates are only declining in certain countries. And the countries where the birth rates are actually very large are of the darker skin variety. And that doesn't seem to make him happy. Like he's really concerned about the white population going down. That's what he thinks will cause the end of society.
TJ, are you saying people that are making pro-natalist arguments are also subtly racist?
I know, right? Who would have thunk? Not me.
Are you saying people who originally got their wealth from emerald mines in South Africa might have a little bit of racism in them?
Wait, the man that directly benefited from South African apartheid is maybe a little racist?
Who would have thought? I just knocked me over with a feather. I love that he tries to deny it too. He's actually come out and said, "Listen, I didn't get anything from my dad never owned an emerald mine." And then people pull up quotes he has talking about his dad's emerald mine. He likes to try. All rich people do this, where they try to pretend that they grew up, working class, but then they find articles talking about Elon Musk at 15 years old flying on a private plane from his dad. Come on, make it the fuck out of here. It's it's pretty crazy. But the emerald mine thing is man, why bother denying it? We know who you are. Just own up to it. Don't pretend that something you're not.